You probably won't believe it.
We have Dr. Cayot in the studio.
Like, really live.
Live.
I chat with your mum a bit.
Man, she went into the archives. This is embarrassing.
Welcome to the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Thank you for joining us on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms. They're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
And we have a great show lineup for you. The one that Pete is the most excited about is Dr. Adam Cayot. And
yes.
we are
live in the studio.
And we are going to talk about screwworm of all things and USDA concerns about that. Would you stop?
Sorry.
And a few other things that Dr. Cayot's mum has sent me, which fabulous. I'm very excited about.
Oh.
And then we have April and Summer Mayberry of Mayberry Farm, which is an extremely famous farm here in Ocala, Marion County. So many connections to so many incredible racehorses like Flightlines and Yata, and of course more recently Beza, who we were very excited about, who came third in the Derby and in the Belmont, a heck of a good horse. And we're going to chat to them about some of the history of the farm and more recent and upcoming too. Exciting stuff. And then we're going to talk to Pat Myers from Pat Myers Electric. Him and Sarah Myers actually supported the Reading with Horses the first week of the summer program last week. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. And we're going to hear from a couple of smaller people about what their opinion was of Reading with Horses. So we have all of this for you on Facebook. And then, of course, tomorrow it'll be on the Equus Television Network 4 or 5 times a day. Also on the radio on Saturday morning on 97.3 The Sky and Odyssey.com and iTunes and iHeart and all of those. So lots of different ways that you can tune in, watch or listen. Lots of people like to put their phone in their pocket and walk around feeding and listening. So Dr. Cayot can attest to that because they ask him all the time if he's talking about them. So we're going to start off with
the horse, and I have our show going on Saturday morning.
Listening.
That's right.
So we're going to say congratulations to Bill Mott and his team and Godolphin and Sovereignty, who of course won the third leg of the Triple Crown races. And well done to him. It was an incredible race to watch, absolutely amazing. Journalism, of course, ran second and Beza third. But I'm going to say that Pete made a point just a couple weeks ago that perhaps Bridlewood would win the Triple Crown. And in effect, even though it wasn't actually the Triple Crown, they actually trained the horses that won all 3 of the Triple Crown races. So I say well done to Maida Murphy, because foundation absolutely matters. Who starts these horses absolutely matters. So well done to Bridlewood for giving such a great start to Journalism and Sovereignty, who have absolutely shown themselves to be real warriors.
Could have had a Triple Crown winner, possibly.
Well, I know, and that's what everybody says now. Of course, if Sovereignty had just ran in the Preakness, who knows, right? So we'll never know. But on the recent NTRA polls, the top horses actually were all trained in Ocala. So I think that's really, really exciting. So the most recent NTRA top 3-year-old poll is Sovereignty at the top, then Journalism, then Beza, and then Sandman. So all Ocala Connection, Sovereignty and Journalism starting out at, of course, at Bridlewood.
We need to come up with OCT, OCB, Ocala trained, Ocala born and trained.
Love the idea. Beza, of course, at Mayberry Farm, and then Sandman, who trained with Ocala's Mark Cassey. We always call him Ocala's Mark Cassey because we claim him as our own. So the top 4 horses, and actually I think the next one down is Rodriguez, who trained at Eddie Wood Stables. So incredible that all the top horses got their start here. So we like to give Ocala, Marion County some shout outs.
The horse capital of the world.
That's what we are. So we just mentioned the reading program, and Gentle Carousel's Reading with Horses is every Thursday at the Marion Theatre for the summer months.
In the air conditioning.
I know, right? Because last year we were outside under the market and it was a little warm and sweaty. But definitely worth coming. It's absolutely, completely free of charge for all ages. Every single child leaves with a book. And it's a great, fun experience. The books are fantastic. The character from the book will be there to visit. So lots of children last week got to meet a horse for the very first time. So we welcome all ages to come, and it's 2:00 every Thursday at the Marion Theatre, which is very iconic downtown Ocala.
It was actually amazing to be sitting in there.
It was, wasn't it? It was fabulous. November's not that far away, believe it or not. This year is absolutely flying by. And Piranha Family Foundation Golf Tournament. Piranha is a great supporter of ours, of course, great supporter of the Chamber's Equine Initiative. And that will be on November 14th this year at the Country Club of Ocala. So get that on your calendar.
And get your teams in, $1,000 a team. And if you want to be a sponsor, Ben will be glad to add you to the sponsorship list.
Yep, and the actually the money that is raised by the foundation goes to 3 absolutely wonderful charities. It goes to Canine for Warriors, it goes to the Florida Youth Ranch, and it goes to Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy Horses. So it's split between those 3 wonderful 501c3 organizations. So if you can help, if you can get a team together, or if you can sponsor, you can reach out to Piranha Animal Health. And this time of year, we are very grateful for our piranha, aren't we?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Fly spray, please.
Yes, absolutely. Art to the Rescues, one of our very, very good partners of the show is Ocala Dog Ranch, of course, who have dock diving competitions for dogs, boarding, training, all kinds of great activities, daycare, and they are doing an Art to the Rescues celebration and adoption event on Saturday, November 8th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I will not be there because I think I'm at the Breeders' Cup, but you should be there. Local artists, fine crafts, vendors, live food, music, live music and food. Yeah, you don't want live food. That makes me think of lobsters. I'm like, no, I can't watch lobsters.
No, they boil them before you eat them.
Yeah, but it's live food when you go in.
Live food is like crickets.
I can't handle live food. Many local rescue organizations will be there. You can come and meet and adopt your next fur baby. So check out Ocala Dog Ranch for more information on that. Did we get through everything? No way.
No way.
That never happens.
It's Dr. Cayot, I'm telling you.
It makes me feel very grounded.
There you go, because Pat Myers Electric is here.
That's right.
It's a buzz.
It's a buzz, yeah. So this is well done. Very well done.
Let's flip the switch and keep going with the show.
That's right. So some of the controversy, of course, of the Triple Crown, we've been talking quite a bit about the Triple Crown lately because obviously we just ran the 3rd leg of it. So if you have not checked out Steve Haskins' latest column, he is a Hall of Fame turf writer and you can find him on Facebook, but he has a very, very recent column and it's funny, he says he doesn't have an accent, but he has a very strong accent to me. He's from New Jersey. And whenever I read one of his columns, I read it in his accent. I know that's hard to believe for me, right? So
let's hear it. Go ahead.
No, I can't do it. No, it's embarrassing. The face I have to pull to do it. But I actually read that today, and it's fantastic. You should go to it and read it because it talks a lot about everybody saying all the horses should have to run in all 3 legs and all of that. It's very, very interesting. So find Steve Haskin. We're going to be talking quite a bit about racing in this show. So stay with us. We're going to be right back with, can you believe it?
Dr. Cayot live in the studio.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Grateful for the foundation of excellence laid over 40 years ago by their founders, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care continues to provide excellence in ambulatory and emergency care, surgery, internal medicine and sports medicine with a lab and pharmacy, as well as the best in reproductive services at their Advanced Facility Center in Summerfield. For more information, find them at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now. The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor.
Faulty wiring is the leading cause of barn fires, and equine facilities have special electrical needs. The knowledgeable and licensed team of electricians at Pat Myers Electric will ensure you can achieve your vision for a safe and functional horse facility. For new builds, rewires, and updating, Pat Myers Electric team is ready to jump in and help keep your horses safe. With a farm of our own, we know you cannot take chances. For all your current barn needs, go to patmyerselectric.com.
Love presents itself in so many ways. It can be difficult to describe the bond between human and horse because it really transcends words. As we prepare for each ride, the most important thing in our mind is our horse's health and safety. Are we playing our part in this remarkable relationship? We want to go to sleep every night knowing that we did everything in our power to preserve this special bond. Piranha Animal Health, for the love of the horse.
Ocala Dog Ranch offers a variety of services for your dog, including agility training, barn hunt training, board and train, boarding long and short term, daycare, day training, dock diving training and competitions, disc dog, swimming lessons and pool rentals, lure coursing, and obedience training classes. Check out Ocala Dog Ranch at ocaladogranch.com. Ocala Dog Ranch is your home away from home for your dog and more. The team of professionals at Equifence of Florida specialize in equestrian fencing, offering great communication, quality fencing, and all done in a timely manner. Reliable service with horse safety in mind all the time. Also offering customized residential, vinyl, wood, aluminium, and chain link fences services. Equifence of Florida, quality fencing done right to keep your animals safe. For more information, find Equifence of Florida on Facebook now.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
And guess what? We
He's
have
live.
the real, in-person, Dr. Adam Cayot here in the studio. Dr. Cayot, thanks for coming in.
Pleasure to be here.
It's nice to have you here. I chat with your mum a bit on Facebook Messenger.
Right here.
Jane, yeah, she's great.
Yes, she is.
I can see why you turned out so well. Hi,
Yeah.
Jane. So we have a few photographs, if you're joining us on the television or Facebook, that we can share with you. We want to hear a little bit about how young were you when you fell in love with horses?
Well, I was always in love with them. I got my first pony, that's Satin right there.
It's a
when I
cute
was
little
when I was
chubby.
8. Look at that cowboy right there.
There you go.
Oh,
I love
cowboy.
it, too. You like his dude, don't you?
That's
His
right.
looks good, right? So you
Yeah.
must join us on Facebook or Equus Television because you must see these pictures. So you loved horses and riding from a very young
Wait a
age.
minute. Then he went English.
Yeah. Well, this thing. So I joined 4-H, and I didn't know anything about it, and my folks didn't know anything about it. You know.
Your mum said that.
Whoa,
She
he's jumping.
And so I saw these guys jumping these horses, and I was like, that looks a lot more fun than what I'm doing. So that's what I wanted to do. Man, she went into the archives.
So tell us about
went
what
into the archive.
happened to Satin and the experience.
Wow, he's going to cry.
Getting her home.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is embarrassing. But anyway, so like I said,
No, we didn't know much.
Yeah, we didn't
It's
know
okay.
anything. I didn't know anything. My mom was she was born on raised on a lake in southern Indiana. She had no agricultural experience at all. And my dad was on a farm. He was raised on a farm, but they just had like workhorses and stuff. And so we didn't know anything. And I wanted this pony, so they found this pony, and the guy's name was Rich Hausch, and he was he did heating and air conditioning in Lebanon, Ohio. Well, my dad knew him, and they're like, "Hey, we have this pony. We have this pony that my kids, they've outgrown it, and blah blah." Well, so then Satin comes to be. Well, we go to pick Satin up, and it was cold. I mean, you see her coat there, like, you know, she's a little Shetland pony. It's cold.
Little
Cold in
shaggy.
Ohio, yeah. So we didn't
I love your smile.
We didn't, yeah, right. We did not know any better. And we had this flatbed trailer. Literally, it's a flatbed trailer. And we had this old international pickup truck. And Dad hooked this trailer up, no sides, or basically like just little sides like this, you know, and
like the mowers use.
yeah.
Oh dear.
Did it have a ramp?
We get the, you know, I'm not sure. I don't remember. It must have somehow either we got her in there some way or another. Maybe we tilted it. Like she wasn't that big, so maybe we tilted it and then tipped it back. But anyway, she gets on this trailer, and there are no sides. There's no front to the trailer. We tie her down to the sides of the trailer, and we just head down the road. And I'm looking back through the back window of the pickup truck, and there's Satin's forelock just blowing in the wind, just like. Luckily, I can't imagine what other horse people thought if they actually saw that.
Well, you know
like,
what would happen on social
holy
media now.
Moses,
so-
like they would, yeah, that would be viral because they'd be videotaping that.
So what would you say if you saw that now?
Holy crap! I can't believe this. That's some horse.
Give him the card,
there's
my
gonna-
business
It's gonna
card.
be a
in case you need
disaster.
it.
That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a disaster waiting to happen. So
Satin got hurt.
yeah, she did.
She got loose.
She got loose. Yeah.
Not
So-
in that incident.
No, not in
She
that
was
instance. She
separate.
was fine.
Right, she was fine.
Well, so again, ignorance. We had Satin, and we would let her out. So we had a 20-acre farm, but we would let her out in the backyard, so to speak, which was big, and let her eat out there because the grass was better in the backyard, right? So she was eating out there, but we tied her to this, like, it would be like a crepe myrtle down here. I don't know what it was in Ohio, but it's like a crepe myrtle, that kind of bushy tree kind of thing. Well, it was this super long nylon rope. It was longer than a lunge line. It was long. Well, I can't remember if I opened the gate or somebody opened the gate to the field, and Satin went out that gate, flying as fast as she could. And how she didn't break her neck, I have no idea. However,
But
she
did
did
go to, like-
she came to the end of her rope, and she dislocated her hock.
And you thought you were going to lose her,
I thought
and you
that
were
was gonna be it.
devastated
Yeah,
and
it
heartbroken.
was bad.
Your mom said she was cuddling you, thinking that you
Yeah,
were
this was going to
sad.
be the end of the rope.
And a vet
No
saved
pun
her.
intended. Yeah,
Wow.
but yeah.
And that's when you
Yeah.
decided that you were going to be. You told your mother that day, "I'm going to be a vet when I grow up."
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I thought that was really cool as well.
Yeah, Satin ended up being okay. No bones broke. She just dislocated the hock. He came out, popped the hock back in place, put a cast on, and she never looked back.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then you decided you were going to university. You were going to be a vet, and I thought that was very cool. And there was a couple.
Wow, we even have a graduation.
Literally, yeah, man.
And there weren't there some other sports, perhaps?
Oh yeah, I played basketball.
You did some other sports.
Yeah, I played basketball. Played a little baseball. Was in band. Yep, there.
Well done.
What did you
Almost like
play in
you knew what I
band?
I
had.
was a drummer.
Oh.
I played drums.
I
Man, look
think
at that
that
hair.
I said that too.
Heck.
Look at that. You still got good hair though.
Yeah,
Impressive.
not quite as much, but yeah.
Anyway, Jane, we just want to say thank you, Jane.
Yay,
we want to say
Jane.
thank you so much for sending us the photographs.
Mom.
We loved.
This is
Yes.
gonna be the
Yeah.
new thing for people coming on the show.
I
We're
know.
gonna call mom.
We're going to call you mom.
Payback.
I love it.
It'll be payback, Mom.
So, switching up,
Yeah.
we've got 3 minutes left to talk about screw worm. It's a crazy thing, right?
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. Well, luckily we don't have it in the United
don't.
States.
Then
So
why-
since
right.
I think 66 or something
Yes,
like
you were
that.
spot on. 66.
So that's
He
good.
did go to vet school.
That's
did.
good.
But there is an issue.
But there is an issue because it's migrating north Central America and into Mexico. So the border for Mexico is closed.
The USDA's got
Yeah.
concerns about that, keeping
They
it
got
out and managed.
exactly, and it's it's nasty. It's
It's a kind of a fly,
it's
right?
a fly that it's the New World screw worm fly. It's a mouthful.
Yes.
But what's interesting about that is that it lays its eggs on wounds. So it's attracted to the blood, And then the maggots most maggots will actually feed on necrotic tissue, which is not necessarily a bad thing. There's medical grade maggots that we'll use and that sort of thing. But the bad part about this particular maggot is it feeds on healthy tissue. So,
and it can be fatal. Right?
Oh, it can be, yeah, because it can, they burrow themselves kind of like a screw, and it tears the tissue and things like that. It can be awful. Obviously, a reportable disease. If you see it, hopefully you never see it.
And it sounds like you've got it under control and managed fairly well at the moment to not be able to come here.
It's kind of interesting. So the female only mates once. So the way they got it eradicated in the States is they sterilized male flies. So when the sterilized male flies mated with the female flies, they only mate once and then nothing.
Can we do that to love bugs?
Yeah.
We have less than a minute.
Yeah.
Dr. Cayot, I just want to say thank you so much. We're going to warn our future guests. We could call your mother. But I do want you, thank you very much for coming in, and also just the fact that you commit time to share so much with us on a regular basis. And it's really important to have a lot of people comment on how much they learn from tuning in. So we really appreciate you.
I try to do what I can. Appreciate being here.
Now you have to come back regularly.
Yes.
Right.
Dr. Adam Cayot from Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care.
Live in the studio.
And thank you, Mom. We appreciate you. We'll be right back with the Mayberries. Stay with us.
Grateful for the foundation of excellence laid over 40 years ago by their founders, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care continues to provide excellence in ambulatory and emergency care, surgery, internal medicine and sports medicine, with a lab and pharmacy, as well as the best in reproductive services at their Advanced Facility Centre in Summerfield. For more information, find them at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now. Equine Therapy International offers state-of-the-art equipment to enhance your horse's performance, fitness, strength and rehabilitation with hand-picked and proven range of products, including PEMF and massage therapy rugs, leg wraps, boots, pads and lasers, equine water treadmills, cold salt water spas, combi floors, dry treadmills, solariums, nebulizers and more. For more information, go to equinetherapyint.com or find them on social media. Repair, perform and recover with Equine Therapy International. The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations, with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor.
DAC Vitamins and Minerals has been making a world of difference for 35 years. Do you know what sets DAC apart? We use chelation minerals from Alltech, which allows for better absorption. DAC is the only supplement company Alltech provides ingredients for. We have our nutritionist, Performance Horse Nutrition, NASP, which is the quality seal, which guarantees our products and ensures our use of quality ingredients. DAC gives you a guaranteed analysis in every 1 ounce scoop, a 60-day money-back guarantee. Doesn't your partner deserve the best? Visit feeddac.com.
At Florida HVAC Services, air conditioning is a mathematical process. There's no guessing in what size unit your home needs. Florida HVAC Services uses manual J-heat load calculations in diagnosing to guarantee your home is sized properly to control humidity and temperature, thus providing comfort all year round. With flat rate pricing, trained experts, and total peace of mind. For more information, go to flhvacservices.com. They are the air you breathe. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hey, this is Buck Brannaman. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms. They're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
He says that because he comes in covered in hay. So it's like his role. It is so legit
authentic.
in here. I'm going to tell you,
Larson
it's so
hay,
legit.
all over the floor.
It's Larson hay everywhere. We are very excited to have a couple of guests here with us in the studio. We have actually interviewed April Mayberry several times, because every time Mayberry Farm is connected to a famous horse, which is often, we go and find her, but we have not had Summer Mayberry with us before, so we're very excited to have her with us as well. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So Mayberry Farm is iconic. We were just talking in the break, and you even said that you tracked back like 8 generations of horse trainers in your family.
Yeah, on my father's side, and then on my mother's side were a few generations. So
it's amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
It's incredible, really.
I don't know if we had a choice growing up.
This is it.
This was it. Yeah.
This is what we're doing.
This is it. Yep.
Yes. And so you started very little loving horses, very little being around horses.
Yes.
Yeah. Very, very little.
Yeah, very little.
Very little. So it was in the family.
Yes. I think my mother was ponying horses when I was in utero. So, yes.
I
very
love
much
that.
so.
That's incredible. So let's start a little bit. Let's start with you, Summer, since we haven't really interviewed you before. So coming up as a child, were you around racehorses? Were you around thoroughbreds, or were you around all breeds?
Well, mostly thoroughbreds, but we ventured into other breeds. My dad was a trainer at Gulfstream when we were little. We would go the circuit from Gulfstream to Atlantic City, Delaware Park, and back, not that many years ago, but in the 70s, kids weren't allowed. They were not allowed on the front side of the racetrack.
Oh, really?
So as my mom and dad would go and run horses, we'd get put in a stall, and the grooms would be our babysitter.
Yeah, that wouldn't go over well nowadays.
So we would watch the races from the backside. And so we were on the backside.
My favorite place to be.
Quite a bit.
I love it back then.
Every morning, during the summer, we would have to wake up, go to the barn every, 4 o'clock in the morning as kids. And we
Sleep
each got a horse to groom at 8 and
9, 10 years old.
8 and 10. And so
again, frowned upon in this day and age.
So
No, the horse people still do that.
So horses are
a lifelong passion.
Lifelong. And then we both showed horses also, and kind of ventured off. I ventured off into Appaloosas, and April, she had a quarter horse, and we would go to the racetrack in the morning, and then go ride in South Florida in the afternoon.
So it's literally in the blood.
Yes.
Lifelong labor of love.
And school.
And school. Yeah.
Oh, you did that too?
Yeah, we did that
a little bit of that as well.
Good comeback.
Yes.
So over the years, since I met you, and I don't know how long it's been, it must be well over 10 years, but over the years, I know I've followed, every year I follow the Ocala Connections. I chase them down and find that 2/3 to 3/4 of the horses, and not to say the Derby, the Triple Crown, and the Breeders' Cup are the most important, but they're obviously probably the ones that are most on the world stage and that are most kind of seen as the iconic American races. And they're the ones that we track the most. We look at the Haskell and the Jim Dandy and the Travers and those as well, because they're obviously a big, there's lots of great Grade 1 races, but the ones that we look at that are so big, we always find that 2/3 or 3/4 of them have connections here. Mm-hmm. And we talk a lot in this show about the foundation of a horse. And I was actually thinking of this when I saw the video of them putting the flowers at the Belmont over Sovereignty's withers, and the one guy, the handler that was the groom, whoever it was that was holding the horse, covered his eye while they got these flowers. And I thought, you can cover that eye while you put those flowers over there. And yes, it probably only feels like a horse blanket once it's over there. But that horse has to know that's not a horse blanket, and there's flowers are moving around. And I'm thinking there's 100,000 people, and there's a horse with this flower blanket being thrown after he's just run the race of his life, and there he's standing there. And I'm thinking, these horses are so well trained, because there's so much going on. It's an overload. It's an overload.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
Yes.
it is. It's a lot.
It is for us people too, in
I know.
situations like that.
It is,
It's
right?
Yeah.
So you guys put the foundation.
They practice throwing blankets of flowers.
You're gonna win. You're gonna win.
You're gonna win. That's the new technique.
And
that
I don't know how many times I've said Ocala Marion County Connection, but I've said connection a lot.
Oh,
so
you're-
I'm outranking you
There
right
you
now.
Let's get grounded and let's go back to the interview.
So I've been so impressed over the years. Let's go back to Zenyatta. I mean, oh my goodness, what an amazing, incredible horse. And to think that you had her, I got to meet her thanks to you. You had her and you started her. How incredible. I mean, that's historic.
Yeah, and actually it was my mother, and I know the story that's out there is a true story. The first time we ever kind of let her pick it up down the stretch a little bit, and it was one of those, you think it's a once in a lifetime deal, and everything was just so effortless. And I remember my mother called our client up and said, "Listen, we either have a superstar or we have a lot of bad ones." And luckily it worked out. We had the superstar. So, and horses like her, I mean, they make it easy, and it's a sign of a good one. And, they want to do it.
That's amazing. And then you had Exaggerator, of course, amazing. Another incredible horse that was just fantastic. I think he won the Preakness.
Yes.
Another amazing horse. And then Flightline, who was...
Yeah, I don't have words for him.
No.
I mean, really, what a absolute, just so grateful, just so grateful to have been able to see that, like, be the first group of people that knew what he was, and to watch him and be proven right on what he thought he actually was.
So what characteristics does a superstar have?
Yeah, number one is talent, but you can't go up and ask them. But they do have a presence. They give it off. So talent, but the thing I think a lot of people miss is the brain. They have to be intelligent to handle the flowers, to handle the crowd. And I think those are the two, obviously, like I said, talent, but they have to have the brain to handle it. And I've been around some that I think had talent, but they short circuit themselves. They're not mentally, they're not going to take it.
Yeah, I saw I think it was the Preakness, the crowd pushed one horse into the middle and he couldn't make it.
Well, I mean, but just even going through, they're just like kids. Like, our job is, I equate it like elementary school through high school. So when they leave us, they're hopefully going off to college, and or they go in the other way, and that's
going to somebody else to jump. Or
you're supposed to give them the tools they need to go out to be successful.
Well, we've only got a minute left of this segment, but I'm just going to comment that I feel like, and obviously I can't speak for everybody, but for you guys, and there's several others I can name, the Demericks and the Brennans here, who I believe give these horses a better chance that if they don't do well as racehorses, they have a better opportunity for another job, because they've got such a good base, such a good foundation. They're actually started right. And so if they do have to go and learn another career, it's not that difficult.
I agree.
Maybe
with
they
that.
want to jump. I'm crying. I'm getting every electrical turn in there I can. We've got to go to break. We're coming right back. We have Summer and April with us for another segment.
Grateful for the foundation of excellence laid over 40 years ago by their founders, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care continues to provide excellence in ambulatory and emergency care, surgery, internal medicine and sports medicine, with a lab and pharmacy, as well as the best in reproductive services at their Advanced Facility Centre in Summerfield. For more information, find them at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now. The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations, with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor.
Faulty wiring is the leading cause of barn fires, and equine facilities have special electrical needs. The knowledgeable and licensed team of electricians at Pat Myers Electric will ensure you can achieve your vision for a safe and functional horse facility. For new builds, rewires, and updating, Pat Myers Electric team is ready to jump in and help keep your horses safe. With a farm of our own, we know you cannot take chances. For all your current barn needs, go to PatMyersElectric.com.
We're a unique, tough breed. We work long, hard hours making sure your horses are healthy and properly shod because, well, we farriers know horses perform better when they're properly shod and healthy. You want quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices, and you won't settle for anything less.
TT Distributors is dedicated to quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices. Racehorse or a pasture pony, TT Distributors has what you need. 7715 West Highway 40, Ocala.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. She's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
I'm Tick Maynard, and you're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms. They're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
And we have some special guests here in the studio with us. We have April and Summer Mayberry. We've been talking a little bit about Exaggerator. We've been talking a little bit about Flightline, of course, Zenyatta. I've got to have missed some other big ones. There are loads, I know.
Accelerate.
Catalina Cruiser.
Catalina Cruiser, Accelerate. Baeza for this year.
Yeah.
And hopefully some more to come.
And lots more to come, I'm sure. Lots more to come.
Honor AP.
Yeah,
Honor AP.
That's
yes.
right. Yes.
Texas Red.
Yeah. If I went back and checked all of them, there are hundreds of them I've followed for thousands for Marion County connections.
I feel like the lost one in the group. Like, who are these horses?
Google them later. You'll be like,
Okay.
oh, I'm sitting with the stars. So, April, I've been at the farm with you a bit, and I've seen you around the horses. And, you know, there's something that I say fairly regularly on this show, and that is I would not support a sport that I didn't see the horses loved on and well taken care of. And when I'm at the backside of the racetracks or the farms with you guys, I'm always blown away. And actually, I think my very first year of doing any of that, which was probably about 12 years ago or so, I was so surprised because of the way that the horses are loved on and treated. And I met your dogs, and you adore your dogs, and your dogs go everywhere with you, like everywhere with you. And I saw you loving on the horses the way we love on our horses and our dogs. And I was just, it's something I see a lot in the thoroughbred world, and a lot of people don't realize it.
No.
And it's a labor of love, and you treat these horses like you do your dogs. I mean, you really
100%.
do.
I mean, they're why we're all here. And, you know, the thing is, when we get a bad rap, we make them do this, and we don't make them do anything. If they don't want to do it, our job is to, okay, what do they want to do? Do they want to be a little girl's horse? Do they want to be a sport horse? You know, what do they want to do? And we try to make that happen. But we don't make them do it. You know, we don't make them run. It's a natural, they love to do it. And they're herd animals, and they're social. They're very social. Most of them like people. We have a few over the years, and maybe not so much. And, you know, it's knowing that. It's getting to know the horse and what direction and what they need.
Absolutely. And I see that when I visit you, and there are quite a few others I visit that I just see the horses are very calm, they're very relaxed, they're very content. They've always got full bags of hay and toys and treats and carrots and mints and all the things. And it's just like they're happy horses. And I love to see that. Now, we were at the stall where there was an incident with Flightline.
Yes, the incident.
The incident.
That's a good phrasing.
The infamous stall.
Yeah, the incident.
I think I remember you showing me the latch that he had his bottom on.
I was not actually smiling like that day, by the way.
I'm sure you weren't.
It was.
But that's the famous stall.
Yeah.
Yes, and he did, and that kind of slowed him down a little bit in his career.
It did, and it was funny because it was kind of a repeat when my mother with the Zenyatta, oh my goodness, we've got a really good horse here. And the first time that I had kind of let Flightline go down the stretch, we all said the same thing. I'm like, oh, I've never seen anything like it, gives you chills. And I had called the bloodstock agent, David and Gordo, up, and I said, listen, you need to come down here. And he lives in Lexington, Kentucky. I said, you need to come down now because I don't know what we have here. And to his credit, he did listen to me, and he came down the following week, and I had walkie-talkies for myself and people, that work on the farm. And so we're watching the other horses train, and I'm waiting for him to come out, for Flightline to come out, and all of a sudden I hear something on the radio, and I looked at David, and he looked at me, and I was like, oh no. And it was an upset voice, and so I'm trying to beat David. Now I know it's Flightline, and I'm trying to beat David back to the barn, and we get back there kind of at the same time, and everybody's all upset, and I kind of see he had cut himself on his rump, and it was just an accident, just an everyday, can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
And it was very unattractive, and it looked very serious, but it was muscle and skin. So kind of in my mind, I thought, well, as long as, we get the vet here and stitch it up properly and there's no infection, he'll be fine. And he was, but it was just the fact the man flew down to watch him, and we're waiting for him to come out, and it was like, yeah, you're not going to see that today.
No, not today.
You're going to see the van pick him up and take him to the clinic.
I did notice they did have him in a padded stall at the racetrack.
Yes.
And bedding was like this steep, and the stall was all padded all the way around. Yeah. And I was like, oh, why is his stall padded? And they said he just likes to get into trouble. Yeah. So
and he had
to have a padded
smart.
stall.
He's so smart.
So we've got to ask you, changing subject a little bit, because I want a minute left at least at the end here to talk about Beza, but a little match race with Bob Baffert?
Oh, yes. Well, it was a few years ago, but I trained in Southern California for about, 15, 16 years. And so the circuit was Santa Anita, Del Mar, Hollywood Park. And so we went to Del Mar, and I had a young 3-year-old that had broke his maiden at Santa Anita. And then we were headed to Del Mar. And I ran him, I think opening week of Del Mar, he won an allowance race with Patrick Valenzuela. So I got a call one day from the racing office, and they called me in and said, look, we're thinking of a promotional race for fans, and we want to have a match race. And so your horse kind of fits the bill. We want a 3-year-old. And we're going to bill it like, battle the sexes, because it was
up against Bob,
but it was more for the jockeys. It was Julie Crone versus Patrick Valenzuela.
Oh my God.
They were head and head for leading rider.
And you won.
So I did. But Bob was in the office too at the time. And I said, I'm trying to develop my horse. I really don't want to do it. So, the timing isn't quite right. And Bob, of course, looked at me and goes, are you crazy? He goes, do you know how much publicity you'll get if you happened to win?
And then you did.
And I said, I thought about it. And I said, you know what? He's right. So anyway, it was a really great race.
And
he wanted the race to be a mile. And I said, the only way I'm going to do it is it's a mile and a 16th. And his horse was more of a sprinter. Mine was more of a distance horse. And so he agreed. He's like, okay. And so that's awesome. How it was built.
Well, we have a minute and a half. So I have to mention the 2-year-old that we're very excited about. Please tell me how you say that name.
Nimue.
Nimue. Nimue.
Yes.
Beautiful horse.
Yes. Zenyatta's daughter.
Very
Yes.
exciting.
Her last one.
Her last one.
Yes. And she just.
And she's great.
She's great. She's the clone of her mother. She looks like her. She acts like her. I think she trains like her.
We got to watch out
So
for
we
that
have
one.
to see if she's going to run like her.
And with
very exciting.
Very exciting. 1 minute left. I have to say, you guys have to be excited to have the third best horse in the country and almost in the world right now. Beza is the horse that you guys started and put the foundation on right here at Mayberry Farm. And sovereignty and journalism, really tough to beat. To run right after those two, my gosh.
Yes, and Baeza, I think there's nothing but upside. He's really late fall, and every race he learns a little more and a little more, and he gets better and better.
So as the year progresses, we're going to see big things.
I think so. I think
maybe he'll outrun those two.
Maybe. And I did see those two in the paddock on Belmont Day, and I was rather impressed.
Yes, they are impressive.
I was like, oh my goodness.
I want to thank you both, Summer and April, for being with us. Thank you for coming in. It's really special to learn all of this and share this with our listeners. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You guys are amazing. We'll be right back. We have Pat Myers with us from Pat Myers Electric. Stay with us.
At Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, our customers say it best.
Oh, the prices were great. They were actually unbeatable.
Thanks, Miss Delara. At Palm Chevy, we do our best to give you our best price and payment without the games. And our entire team is committed to making your experience in sales or service pleasant and hassle-free.
It's been a pleasure doing business around here.
Thanks, Mr. Hars. And we think you'll agree. Visit us today at Palm Chevrolet, Southwest College Road in Ocala, or at palmchevrolet.com. Find new roads.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Centre Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs. EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Centre now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
We're a unique, tough breed. We work long, hard hours making sure your horses are healthy and properly shod because, well, we farriers know horses perform better when they're properly shod and healthy. You want quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices, and you won't settle for anything less.
TT Distributors is dedicated to quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices. Racehorse or a pasture pony, TT Distributors has what you need. 7715 West Highway 40, Ocala.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Cut through the noise and distinguish your business with a custom vehicle wrap from Smash Wraps. Get noticed with eye-catching vehicle wraps that showcase your brand's identity and earn you more business. If you're looking for a custom-designed vinyl wrap for horse trailers, box trucks, cars, or pickup trucks, for a single fleet vehicle, or for 100, no job is too big for the Smash Wraps team. Make your appointment to set your business apart today. Find us on social media or at smashwraps.com. And remember, don't just wrap it, smash wrap it.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
This is Charlotte Cannon, and you are listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, brought to you by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms. They're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
And guess what? We have Pat Myers Electric. We're going to flip the switch.
Shockingly good.
The static in the room is amazing.
It's positively exciting.
It is. And you know, I don't remember who it was I was talking to, but I was talking to somebody the other day that said to me, I mentioned your name, and they said, he's everywhere.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere.
Said, he is everywhere. He lights up my day every time I see him.
Wow.
That's fantastic. I love that. My mother said every once in a while that I was kind of annoying, so she also said stick to what you're good at. So I try and be annoying. I just be everywhere all at once. And
well, you really are.
I try.
But I've said all along how important it is to people who own horses to have somebody on the farm that knows about horses, understands horses, has horses. Your wife Sarah rides, and you guys have a farm, and you get it. And that's important when you have somebody coming out to work on something. You don't want just, and by the way, they were just at my place last week, and I had 2 ceiling fans that were acting up, and Mr. Marbles, my dog, wasn't happy about not having a ceiling fan in his room. So Pat Myers Electric had to come out and fix me up. But I'm going to tell you, they were always on time. I was late because I was at the reading with you. But let me just tell you another story before we talk about the reading with horses, because this is good. I said to George and Debbie from Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy Horses who do the reading program, I said, look, I'm sorry, I got a class. I was at work for home that day because Pat Myers Electric is coming to fix some things at my house. So is it okay if I miss the first reading program? But it depends on who the sponsor is. And Debbie goes, Pat Myers Electric. And I go, oh, never mind. I can be late and I'm not missing it because I'm not missing one that Pat Myers Electric's sponsoring. So I'll just have to be late. So I told Pam, I may be a bit late.
Yeah.
And they were great.
We want to make sure that Mr. Marbles has fans.
Exactly.
And is taken care of.
Yes. He wanted a fan in his room. And
yes.
I only had a light, but a fan that didn't work. So all fixed and very efficient, and Brandon was wonderful, and wow, just always blown away by the service and just how well everything is taken care of. And when you have horses in a barn, you absolutely want to know that all your electrical is good, because the biggest cause of fires in a horse barn is electrical.
Unfortunately,
issues.
electrical.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we all want to know our horses are safe. So that, to me, is probably much more important even than Mr. Marbles' fan. It's hard to believe, but it really is.
It's pretty important.
It is pretty important.
It's very important, Mr. Marbles needs fans.
Yes,
and I'm sure you get a lot of people that go, oh, yeah, come check my barn. And then when you get done, they're like, okay, yeah, can you fix, is this really going to burn my barn down?
Well, we get this one a lot, that you can come and take a look, but everything works fine. And then I take a look and I go, well, there's a couple things that we might want to address. And I really, really hate using a scare tactic or saying the word fire, because it gets people on edge immediately. Mm-hmm. And so just being able to talk to people in a very just human way, to educate them first, not try and sell them on anything, mm-hmm. just talk to them about what's it like in their barn, what things are potential hazards for the horse, which are potential hazards for the farm. What do I think the priorities are? I think people do appreciate that, instead of coming in and saying, mm-hmm. this barn is terrible. It's not terrible.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that.
You have great animals in this place, and you want to protect your riders. You want to protect the horses that are there. So,
and you can get really oblivious to things. I mean, I know I really never thought about the fact that fan in that room didn't even work. It didn't cross my mind, and then it was getting warmer and warmer, and I was thinking, I really need to but you get oblivious to things you're used to having a certain way, and when you get another set of eyes come in, it really helps to help you to figure
Pat
out
and
what
I talk
you need.
about this all the time. Is I'll go to a barn and I'm helping one student, I look over and I see 3 horses that could really be helped.
Yeah.
But those owners don't know. They're sitting there, I get from point A to point B, does it matter? And I'm like, yeah, and you might get bucked off in the next couple weeks or months, and I hope it doesn't happen, but it's the same thing. And I don't want to go over there and go, I really need to help you. So I know the feeling how you walk in there.
We've got to flip the switch again, because we got to go to reading program. The reason I said people say you're everywhere is because you are a big supporter of this community, especially four-legged related, two-legged too, but four-leggeds, I know that you and Sarah are huge fans of vocal and rescuing dogs and helping horse people. And that's one of the reasons that we love partnering with you so much, because we obviously are the same way. Last week, you were the sponsor of the first week of the reading program. Tell me why that mattered to you and Sarah and what you saw.
Well, Debbie and George at Gentle Carousel, first of all, they are so involved in the community, and our community is extremely close to our hearts. So we definitely want to continue to help build the community. But they do something else that I'm envious of. They can reach so many people effortlessly. Like there's this, it is the summer reading program. So they are encouraging reading to kids during the summer. They're making sure these kids go home with a book every single time they come. It doesn't matter. They're going to leave with a book, and they're encouraging children to read. But at the same time, they're reading them a story, and the character from the story comes out, and these kids have so much excitement to meet a horse. Like, there's kids that never have met a horse before. They've never had a chance to pet a horse or interact and their faces are just lit up, and they're so excited. So they're also, at the same time, introducing the equine community to these kids, and that's extremely important. And during the story, they're teaching these lessons about first responders and police officers, and being kind to each other, and being human, and just connecting with each other, and showing things to our future leaders that are important in our communities. So they're simultaneously doing all these things, and the kids love it. And so I think that Gentle Carousel is making a very big impact in what we're doing in the horse community, but also in the community itself to help raise our future leaders.
I agree. And actually in the next segment, we're going to keep Pat with us, because in the next segment, I've got a little short interview that I want you to see. So we're going to stay on this topic. But what you said is so true, because what Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy Horses does is so far-reaching in the community and beyond. I mean, everything from, they went to the big school shootings at Sandy Hook and Parkland, and they get invited back every year for those little horses to meet with the first responders and the families who lost children. They went to the Orlando nightclub shooting with the horses for first responders and people who lost family members and friends. They go to after tornadoes and storms, and into rehabs and hospitals and hospice.
And I love what George says is he gives the people that can't say anything a voice. They get to spill it out, what they just went through, because they can't do it to everybody that was around there. They can do it with the horse.
It's really incredible.
For a little horse, making a big impact.
I know. Right. I always say they're small but mighty.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We are going to go to break, but we're going to keep Pat with us, because at the beginning of the next segment, we want you to hear from a couple of the children that were there at the reading program, because I had to just get a few words from a couple of them. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
At Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, our customers say it best.
Oh, the prices were great. They were actually unbeatable.
Thanks, Miss Delara. At Palm Chevy, we do our best to give you our best price and payment without the games. And our entire team is committed to making your experience in sales or service pleasant and hassle-free.
It's been a pleasure doing business around here.
Thanks, Mr. Hars. And we think you'll agree. Visit us today at Palm Chevrolet, Southwest College Road in Ocala, or at palmchevrolet.com. Find new roads.
Love presents itself in so many ways. It can be difficult to describe the bond between human and horse because it really transcends words. As we prepare for each ride, the most important thing in our mind is our horse's health and safety. Are we playing our part in this remarkable relationship? We want to go to sleep every night knowing that we did everything in our power to preserve this special bond. Piranha Animal Health, for the love of the horse.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Center Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Center now on Facebook, and find them on the web at epcrehab.com. Equine Therapy International offers state-of-the-art equipment to enhance your horse's performance, fitness, strength, and rehabilitation with hand-picked and proven range of products, including PEMF and massage therapy rugs, leg wraps, boots, pads, and lasers, equine water treadmills, cold saltwater spas, combi floors, dry treadmills, solariums, nebulizers, and more. For more information, go to equinetherapyint.com or find them on social media. Repair, perform, and recover with Equine Therapy International. Ocala Dog Ranch offers a variety of services for your dog, including agility training, barn hunt training, board and train, boarding long and short term, daycare, day training, dock diving training and competitions, disc dog, swimming lessons and pool rentals, lure coursing and obedience training classes. Check out Ocala Dog Ranch at ocaladogranch.com. Ocala Dog Ranch is your home away from home for your dog and more.
DAC Vitamins and Minerals has been making a world of difference for 35 years. Do you know what sets DAC apart? We use chelation minerals from Alltech, which allows for better absorption. DAC is the only supplement company Alltech provides ingredients for. We have our nutritionist, Performance Horse Nutrition, NASP, which is the quality seal, which guarantees our products and ensures our use of quality ingredients. DAC gives you a guaranteed analysis in every 1 ounce scoop, a 60-day money-back guarantee. Doesn't your partner deserve the best? Visit feeddac.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hello, I'm Chris Cox, and you're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the final segment of the Horse Talk Show for this week, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our TV broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
And we have been chatting to Pat Myers from Pat Myers Electric, and nothing shocking to report so far. Sorry, I promised Isaac I wouldn't use that one. So what's the buzz about the reading with horses? I couldn't help it. It's right there. I can't help it.
I'm getting tingly all over.
Actually, that reading program's amazing.
It is amazing.
Incredible. All year round going to the schools. I went to the last couple of them this year at the elementary schools, and those kids, the questions they were asking, they couldn't get their hands up fast enough to ask questions. And when they focus in on like equine careers and things for the slightly older children, that's impressive, because this next generation is not getting enough chance to be around horses. There's a lot of tech, there's a lot of phones, there's a lot of indoors, and you know, we can have all the farms, all the beautiful farms in the world, but we don't have anybody who wants to ride or work on them.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? So that's why the Chamber's so gung-ho about the
And I didn't
school
grow
program.
up riding around any livestock until I got to college, so.
It makes a difference. And there's a couple of kids that were at the reading program that have something to say about the reading program, so here they are. All right, tell me your name first.
Hello, my name is Serenity Mata.
Okay, and tell me a little bit about today's reading program with the miniature horse.
Today I saw a horse, and they talked about all of the, like, there was like veterans, and we got to see a lot of patrol cars, and we saw a horse named Magic, and she was a very good horse, and she's a police horse, and it's going to help me. It's going to help me inspire to read.
Is it? That's wonderful. Have you touched horses before, met horses before?
Yes, I've met horses and touched them before.
That's wonderful. And you loved meeting Magic today?
Yes.
Wonderful. Well done. All right, and now over here, sir, what is your name?
My name is Gunnar Fincher.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about today, meeting Magic and the reading program, and what you thought about that.
I loved it. It was not my first time. My cousins own horses, and it inspires me to like read. I read every night, every day. I try to actually, and I want everybody to read, even my cousins.
Wonderful. And what did you think of Magic the horse? Pretty amazing, isn't she?
Yeah, she's small and beautiful.
Ah, small and beautiful. Well done. Are you going to come back for another week maybe this summer?
Probably. I'll try to get my mom too.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And he said he wants his cousins to come back at the end of that. So he wants his cousins to come back. He wants his cousins to read. His cousins have horses.
Even his cousins.
Even his cousins can read.
Can read.
You hope
and
that they're
those kids were great, and it was just it's just a wonderful program. It's amazing the work that they do, and I just want to thank you and Sarah for supporting so many important things. You know, I think George and Debbie get a mention on the show every week because we are so grateful for everything that they do, and it's literally a labor of love. And those horses, it's 2 years of training, George works with them for 2 years to get them trained. They ride elevators, they go upstairs. They don't wear we always say they don't wear a poopy bag because they are trained to be asked. They ask to go out
and they take them to the trailer.
Yep. So people who aren't used to the scent of horse poopy don't have to get used to it real quick in a hospital, which is fantastic. But the work that they do is absolutely priceless, and it takes folks like you to support that. So,
well, we're happy to do it. That, like I said, it's part of building the community, and it's easy to help someone that is already doing such great work. So,
and there was a special kid there that you know.
Oh. Yeah, our daughter Charlotte was there, who is already an avid reader, so we just fueled that fire. So we did bring home another book to read at bedtime, and she's...
every child gets a book every week.
Yeah, so she's excited about that. She loved she was there last year. She's going to continue to go, and she loves to read, so she also loves to see magic as well.
It's amazing. So, Pete, horsemanship tip of the week. What do we got?
Dancin Pete's Tip of the Week, brought to you by Complimentary Horsemanship. This tip is sponsored by WildlifeWorksLLC.com for your unwanted wild critters removal. Today's tip of the week is, once again, when I'm teaching, I always like to bring in something one of my students figured out. We were doing a circle riding, and my student's horse kept on coming in the circle, so I had her leg yielded out. And it went on for a while, and she couldn't keep him on the circle very easily. So then we switched directions, and he was on the circle really easily. So we were going through the technique of how to do it properly. And then she said, well, my left leg feels like it's too much weight in the stirrup. And so we checked that, and I said, yep, that's why the horse keeps the right stirrup keeps falling into the circle to the left and it's fine to the right. And so we played with that. So it's sometimes not the technique, it's sometimes your own body. So think about your own balance on how well everything is going. And so she sent me a text today and said, I found my left side and now I'm not have so much weight on the right.
Left side.
Yep. So don't just blame the horse on when you have an issue with the horse. It can be you. Your balance, your leg being too long on one side or too much weight. So think about yourself at the same time.
And if you have a horse, you probably love at least one dog. So here's Neil from Ocala Dog Ranch with his dogmanship tip of the week.
The Horse Talk Show goes to the dogs at Ocala Dog Ranch.
Neil Hennessy, the owner of Ocala Dog Ranch. Trimming dogs' toenails, that can be a horror. If you haven't started doing it since the dog was young, it could be a fight. There are kind of gentler ways to do it. You can use a Dremel, which is quieter than just the clips, and it also leaves a nice, smooth, rounded nail. Also, you could all go to a veterinarian to have you do it. They might have to sedate the dog if they're really crazy, or you can take them to your local groomer when you go for grooming. But the nail should be clipped. If the nails get too long, the dog walks incorrectly, and that can lead to other problems in their body. So nail clipping, it's important. Check into doing it yourself or hire a professional.
Nails and dogs, no fun at all. So it just isn't. Lucy had to have hers trimmed this week, and the vet actually had to give me a couple sedative pills to give her beforehand.
For you?
Actually, yes. Yes, actually. It's alarming. That's
why I always tell people with puppies, take the little tips off. Don't try to do a lot.
It's stressful. Pet your dog's feet every night. Yes. That's what I do. I just pet her feet every night, trying to get her used to it. It isn't helping so far, but I believe it will. And while we're on the topic of Ocala Dog Ranch, Neil went to Palm Chevrolet and he got himself a vehicle. And he said what an incredible experience he had at Palm Chevrolet. He said the customer service was incredible and that everything was meticulous. And I love that with them. It's very much above board, and what you see is what you get. So check out Palm Chevrolet, and Neil is very happy with his new ride. So
traded in the old minivan.
Check out both Palm Chevrolet and Ocala Dog Ranch. and Pat Myers Electric, because he's the guy you want on your farm if you need any work done. So very quick shout out, Patrick Heath, if you're listening. I've ran into you twice in a week, so I have to mention you because you're a big show follower and watcher and listener, and so we appreciate you. And yes, the selfies were great. I'm sorry I don't want to have one up for us all to see, but I did want to say hi to you and thank you very much for listening and watching. And that is it. I think we got everything in. So I am not here next week. You are getting a best of 2025, so make sure you tune in for that, whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world,
or not.
Happy horsing around till the same time next time.
See ya.
At Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, our customers say it best.
Oh, the prices were great. They were actually unbeatable.
Thanks, Miss Delara. At Palm Chevy, we do our best to give you our best price and payment without the games. And our entire team is committed to making your experience in sales or service pleasant and hassle-free.
It's been a pleasure doing business around here.
Thanks, Mr. Hars. And we think you'll agree. Visit us today at Palm Chevrolet, Southwest College Road in Ocala, or at palmchevrolet.com. Find new roads.